What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at second in for Bruno, and it had to be the first one that I do. I normally use Bruno as just an untradeable gold in my team, and I think I had to give this one a go. We've given the first one a go. I don't think I actually got a review on him in the end. I think footage-wise it got corrupt, but we did enjoy the first one as he was pretty much first team of the week and was absolutely phenomenal. So I'm hoping we can get a red Bruno, second in form, 89 rated, one away from 90 already. Can we see a 90 rated Bruno before the end of November? Fingers crossed, player of the month, but let's get into it. So with Bruno, from his 87, we have had an increase of 2 pace, 4 shooting, 3 dribbling, 3 defending, 2 physical and 2 passing. It's a nice upgrade. His gold card is currently coming in at 111. At this moment in time, obviously, Bruno is brand new. There's only so many promo packs out, and obviously we've not got the rewards just yet. So he is coming in at 615 on the PlayStation and 620 on the Xbox, with a little bit of fluctuation. I know someone did actually buy 1 million worth of him at the very start, so they paid 1 million coins for him, and now he's down by 400k, which is obvious. The start of him coming out, he's always going to be very, very expensive, especially a Portuguese cam in the Premier League. Links to CR7, was going to say R9 then, of course he does, but links to CR7, obviously links to the Prem as well, which is always nice. Semedo being a nice link to him, especially as one to watch, is quite a good right back, and just in general he's got some good links around him. And he's 89 rated now already. His first in form is coming in at 315, or 313 in fact. And it's not a huge jump from him, so I'm kind of expecting roughly the same sort of gameplay. I'm expecting him maybe to have a little bit more agile, a bit more kind of on the ball stuff, but that's really it. It's not a huge jump. It's like when we go from gold to team of the season, we don't see... we only see the big jump then. If we go in form 1 rating, in form 2 ratings, it's only slightly, and then as you go and you progress, you'll then start to see the real difference. If you go back to the gold Bruno and then look at the second in form, there may be a actual little bit of difference, not too heavily, being only 2 ratings higher, but that's when we start to see it. I think now if you're using the 88 and you think, you know what, I want to upgrade to the 89, you probably won't see too much because it's only 1 rating apart. If we do manage to get like a +3, a +4 on some cards, that's where you'll really start to see it. But Bruno is obviously a 4-star, right-footed, 5'10", with the high work rates. I can't say that word. And he is a lean body type. 79 pace, which isn't the greatest, and it's exactly why we're looking at potentially a hunter, a shadow, a catalyst. It all depends on what you want, but I think the kind of pace is massive key there. And I think people are using a shadow on him. 64 votes for shadow. Personally, I don't see it. I don't know why I would waste it on defending. I would much rather just go and boost out the shooting. Put a hunter on him, get him at 90 cam. All's good. Even if you went with, say, like an engine or something like that, turn him into a proper cam where he gets 84 pace, 96 and 94 passing dribbling. That for me would be much better than going defending. There may be a tactic to it. I don't know. I feel like that for me is just a waste. I'd rather have the on-ball kind of mechanics for him better than going with the defending. And maybe, yes, he could go and tackle 1 or 2 people more, but I personally like him as an attacking player. I like him shooting, I like him in and around the box, I like him on the ball going forward. I don't need him defending. That's why you have a CDM, 2 CDMs, a CM, someone who's protecting him and letting him stay up front, almost like a second striker as such. Because I play 4-1-2-1-2, I'd like to have the left and right mids come up and down. I like to have the DM stay back, the cam stay forward with the 2 strikers at all times, and then I've got a break triangle. I've got normally Werner and Martial, Bruno sitting behind them, and they just go up as a free. Bruno plays that role absolutely magnificently, and that is exactly how I like to play with him, and I think that's probably the best way to play with him. In terms of other stats then, if we go on to the reset and we'll have a look at engine and personally what that brings to the table in comparison to the shadow, to the hunter, and kind of see what that actually does. We've got decent shooting. He's got more shot power, long shots than actual finishing, and that's why I think maybe a hunter could be a good job. Gets that finishing right up, but it doesn't get any more passing or dribbling, which I suppose are the best stats for him. 90 passing, which is absolutely wonderful, which obviously you can see on the screen, and then we have 88 dribbling, 89 composure being a big stat there, because that one obviously doesn't go up or down, and then you can kind of get the other rated stats up, with the agility and balance being over 80. Absolutely fine at this point in the game. So for me, I think the stats well rounded, well positioned. The stats, they're coming in nicely in the right sections. It's not like he's got 75, like he's got like 90 defensive awareness, but then he's got 80, well, he's got like 60 balance. He's got the positions in the right, he's got the stats in the right positions basically. But let's go into the gameplay and see what it's all about. So with Bruno, I used him, like I said, as a cam. We did have Watkins as well in the team, so expect a review on him. Literally a couple minutes in, already playing a ball through. Obviously, Watkins and Nannik linked up as well to get that easy pass around a goalkeeper, but Bruno's the one that passes it. You'll see him constantly dropping back a little bit. He does have high work rates, so obviously he will drop back a bit more than he should do, which isn't a problem because it's not like he's coming to the edge of my box. And obviously with the cam roll, I want him pushing. You see him constantly kind of just on the edge of the box. Then he makes the sprint. He's already with him and he's continuing to run. We've got now the options. We see Watkins coming in here and it's just an easy tap in for him really, or a little bit kind of like an outside of the foot. It's easy work for him. Bruno plays the passes, which he's got an incredible ability with. His dribbling is very, very agile, and you'll see kind of like a section where I'm just dribbling around everybody. Doesn't really go anywhere, but it's nice that he's able to do that. He's able to kind of bring that bit of flair to the table, and that's something that I think I've always struggled with a cam, and we've not really had a stupid amount of good cams at the moment. We've had a few kind of like average. We've had Millet, Forsberg, Isco. We've looked at Coutinho, Odegaard, one to watch. We've had a few that we've looked at and thought, can he do it? And I think Bruno for me is still one of the best. He still gets on top of the goals. He still gets on the assists. And honestly, he's just a wonderful player to play with in and around the box. That for me is kind of like his position. And we'll see here literally just dribbling around people and kind of maybe trying to have a little bit of fun with it. He is a 4-star after all, so he does have that ability to do some skills. Maybe he's not the quickest at them, but we see him constantly going with the ball. He's always picking it up, and he's most definitely probably the most kind of possession of the ball in both matches. So as we go into it, the overall review, 615, 620, 610 on PC. He will drop, and obviously as we get more reds, as we get more packs, he will drop in price. And will he drop probably below, I want to say 550, maybe. I think 500's a push, because I feel like he will be very hard to pack. He's the second top player in this team of the week, besides Messi, so he's going to be very, very hard to pack. He's going to be one of them ones that only a select few of people get him, and that's going to hold his value. Obviously being in the Prem always makes a big difference. Prem always adds an extra however many K value, and that's just the natural order of stuff. Bruno being Man U, obviously for me that means I really want him as a red. Am I going to get him? Very, very unlikely. In terms of chemistry styles, personally they've gone with Shadow. I'm not a big fan. I personally don't see the point in getting these stats up. I understand not wasting any stats, totally understand that. But for me, if you're going to go with something to get the pace up, you may as well do it right and get that shooting up. Look at the stats that we can get there. Absolutely fantastic. Get the pace up to 89, shooting up to 94. I really can't argue with that then. Engine, I think, is another good one if you want him as an assisting player, someone who's going to dribble with the ball. And yes, he can still shoot. 81 finishing isn't awful. It's not the greatest, but it isn't awful, and he will have them chances. He's still got all of these to kind of cope with. Some really good shot power and long shots. Obviously, penalties is absolutely cracked at as well. But then you get the dribbling, you get the passing. Everything looks absolutely top notch. And literally, if we get a 90 to 91 rated card, and this goes up to like 85 plus, you are looking at an outstanding cam, a cam that can probably last you to Team of the Year easily. And I think even this card probably could last you a hell of a long time. Literally, you could link whoever with him. Prem-wise, it's always got nice players rolling in, and then you can obviously kind of go around him, put him as a CDM and link him to Semedo. You could link it to Wan-Bissaka. There's so many options that you can go with him, and I think he's an absolute wonderful player. Obviously, we do have Tellers on the left as well. Doesn't get quite the perfect. Doesn't get the perfect linked, but he does get the strong. We've also got Martial, Fred, and then other similar players, De Bruyne and obviously Mullet. Two decent cams. I personally prefer Bruno over both, but I think in terms of cam prem, I feel like Bruno's probably the best for me, and that just it complements my play style. In terms of generations, I know we went through it with the gold card, so I'm not going to bore you too much. This card was absolutely cracked. I did enjoy obviously his 88, managed to get another 88 there. This is technically like his winter refresh. He's a cracking card. I think he's worth the price, but I still wouldn't pay it. I'd always look to try and get the upgrade of him. I'd try and get him untradeable or red pick. That for me is the big one. I wouldn't necessarily pay 500 at this point in the game, just because we've got Black Friday around the corner and we can see a lot of gold cards, a lot of really meta gold cards coming down in price, and you can go and snap them up. Bruno's going to get an inform again, hopefully, at some point, so I would always wait for that and wait for the real buy time for him. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you think, and who do you want in your red picks tomorrow, apart from Messi, obviously.